again. I'm back. It's been 2 weeks if I'm not wrong. Other than the weather update that I posted, I've been in trouble, like really so much trouble. First, it was a reading break, and then I had food poisoning, and yeah, I planned to go on a road trip to a nearby city and bring you along. But on Tuesday night, I was dying. Have you ever been so sick, such that you're ready to die? I already gave up. I gave up on, I mean, not in a bad way, but like, I didn't think there was anything else to do other than just be there and wait for what might be for me. It was so random. I don't still understand where it came from, because most of the time I cook my food and I ate what I made myself. So I'm wondering why, but probably I left it out in the open for some time before I put it in the refrigerator. Probably that could ever be so sick to a point where I'm sorry guys, but it was so funny when I thought about it later on when I was better, because I just grabbed my phone and I deleted some messages that I didn't want anybody to find when I'm dead. So, who cares when you're dead? So I checked for anything on my phone that I needed to delete, and I deleted, and I put my phone away, and I'm like, whoever gets that phone after, there's nothing. That was so funny. Guys, without really assuming the fact that I have changed, my general outlook has changed. My hair, look at that. So I cut my hair some time back, and I've been trying to grow my hair naturally. I don't want to manipulate it by whatever means. So I literally do nothing to my hair. What I do is I just wash it. I wash it and then I oil it, and then I put it in the short braids. Yeah, my natural hair braids or twists. And this is the length we have achieved so far. It's not so long, but yeah, I don't have very good hair, and I told you that. Remember when I told you that I don't have perfect hair. Like, that's why I like wearing wigs. But this is always what is below the wig, and well, so far I love the way it is. I'm striving to grow it further. This is my natural hair. Today I just was feeling just being me, Annie herself, original queen. Yeah, so that's me today. So what I've done to it, I've just kind of rolled it to make some baby locks kind of thing, but it's not working because whatever I was using was I think it's for shorter hair. I know my hair is short, but it's for shorter hair, so it didn't cut so well. So some of it is still kind of straight, but it is what it is today, my friend. You will have to accept me the way I am. Okay? Yeah, and I don't want people saying that, oh, you look like a boy, or you're better off in those wigs. My friend, don't tell me what I'm better off in. Okay? This is me. Take it, or I'm being so extra today. I don't know why. I'm so extra. I have a few friends who've been asking me to help them with how to get a visa to different countries, blah 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 and stuff. And also when I was applying for a visa, I really was looking for information, but there was none. I mean, there's a little bit on the website, but you know, on these embassies websites, they don't like tell you exactly openly what it is. They just tell you that, oh, you're required to do this and that, but nobody sits down with you to break down exactly how to do stuff. And that's why I'm here today. So today we're not going to talk about visas. We are going to talk about a medical test that you're needed to do, especially if you're coming to Canada. So usually what happens is when you're coming to stay here for more than 6 months, normally you're required to do a medical test. So if you're coming for less than 6 months, that is the usual visitor's visa, you don't need any medical test. So again, we are going to narrow it down to a student's visa and what they check for in a medical exam. There are 2 ways to go about it. One way is doing it before you submit your application to the embassy. So what happens is there are people who do it before, and then when you're submitting your paper applications, which is like the university approval or acceptance letter and all the other documents that are needed by the embassy. I've done a video on how to apply, a very detailed one. So what I'm talking about is the application forms, the acceptance letters, the paper application that you need to deliver to the embassy. So together with that, you can actually add on to it your medical exam results. So that is if you do a prior exam. You can also wait until the embassy requests you to do a medical exam. So in such a case, what happens is you apply, you do the application for getting a student's visa, and then it is checked by the embassy. Once it is checked and they have accepted it, usually they will ask you to go for a medical test. If they don't see you going to study in Canada, or if they feel like you did not meet the requirements for the application, then they will not ask you to go for medical test. So whichever way you decide, that's upon you. So that was not even part of what I wanted to talk about, but what I wanted to talk about is what they check for when you go for the medical exam. So majorly they check for HIV, they do HIV tests, and you're told that and you're cancelled before the actual test. So they check for HIV, they check for physical examination, where they just those people just touch you all over, man. Yeah, and I don't know what I don't know, but the physical exam, they check your eyes, they check your nose, ears, breathing, they just touch you. I don't know if you're physically fit for whatever reason. They also do a syphilis test. They also do a chest x-ray. So those are the major 4 tests that they test for when you want to come to Canada. So again, the question then is, what happens if you're positive for any of those tests? To be honest, I don't know. I don't know what happens if the results, God forbid, for some reason turns out to be positive. But what I know for sure is that if there are signs on the x-ray, the x-ray that you have done, signs of TB, then I know for sure what you're supposed to do in that case. So if you have a scar in your lungs, then that could be a sign of a TB, or it could be a sign that you had TB before and you have been treated and cured, or you had some lung infection, could be pneumonia, and you were treated and it left a scar, or you smoke a lot, or any other circumstance that could leave a scar in your chest. So what happens is that they take you for further investigations. So at this point, you are asked to submit more samples so that they can test. So they're really serious about that. So what happens is that this can take up to 3 months, the test. 8 weeks later, then the results come back. I don't know where they send the results, but from what I know, the results are sent to the UK for further investigations, and then the UK Center or Medical Clinic sends back the results to the embassy and also to the local clinic, and then you're called back for another x-ray. That is now within a period of 3 months. So you go in again and do another x-ray, right? That is if the results come back negative. Okay, so you're called in to do another x-ray, and the reason for this x-ray is to see if there are any changes in your lungs, to see if there's any activity, I guess, in your lungs, so that they determine if it is an active disease or not. No change at all, then that means that probably you had some infection, pneumonia, or even TB, or some other infection that you had before, but you were treated for it and now you're okay, and so that scar will never go away. It will just keep on showing. But let's say, for example, that your results comes positive, your TB results comes back positive. What happens is, like, now this is the major thing that really takes even much longer, because they will have to treat you. If you still want to come, they will have to treat you, and treatment I think takes 6 months. Actually, every other day you will have to go to the clinic and pick your drugs, except for Friday when you pick for Saturday and Sunday. So they want to monitor and they want to make sure that you're taking those drugs. So every day, every morning, you have to go and take the drugs for the day, and then for 6 months. That is if you want to proceed. And then after 6 months, then I think they do another X-ray and check if you're cured. Other than that, the other tests that they do, I really don't know what happens if it comes positive. I don't know if the immigration officers would say no or yes. I can't give that answer. But yeah, that is what they test for when you go for a medical exam to come here as a student. Now, one more critical information. So you cannot take your own personal results. Even if you have the best doctor in the world, you cannot take your personal results. What happens is that they have their own medical facility, and for Kenyans it is International Organization for Immigration. If you're intending to go there, first of all, make sure you book an appointment. After booking an appointment, show up so earlier than your appointment, because when you get there, people usually line and the queue is longer. If you have any questions, let me know, right? So, as usual, I have to show you my dress of the day. So chic, oh my god. Look at that. There's no way I can do this. I